New Canaan smelled like hot copper and broken promises. Kale stepped off the shuttle with nothing but a duffel, a hangover, and the vague idea that helium-3 mining would make him rich. 3 months later, he was broke, half frozen at night, and losing the rest of his credits to a one-eyed ortolan named Grix in the back room of a bar called Dust and Static. That was the night he wandered into the lamp by mistake, looking for another drink and finding an old woman instead. She sat alone, reading from a glowing data slate. The translation drifted above the table in soft gold letters like someone had caught fireflies and taught them Hebrew. Kale slumped into the opposite chair. "You selling something, Grandma?" "Only if you're buying," she said without looking up. "Listen for 30 seconds. If it's garbage, I'll pay for your next drink." He snorted. "Fair enough." She tapped the slate. "My child," she read, voice low. "If you take my words to heart and store up my commands inside you, if you actually listen." Kale rolled his eyes. "Lady, I stopped listening to anybody the day I left Corellia." "Then keep losing at Sabak," she said, and went back to reading. He meant to leave. Instead, he stayed, because something about the way she said it made the room feel less loud. A week later, he was back. Same table, same old woman. He still hadn't won a single hand from Grix. She didn't smile when he sat down, just slid the slate toward him. "Try this part," she said. "If you call out for insight and raise your voice, for understanding, if you seek it like silver and search for it like hidden treasure." Kale laughed, bitter. "I've been hunting credits for months. Haven't found squat." "Wrong treasure," she said. He came back the next night, and the next, not because he believed her, because the words started sticking in his head like burrs. One shift, a smuggler's daughter with violet eyes and a crooked smile leaned over his bunk railing. "Come celebrate payday with me, miner boy." Every part of him wanted to say yes. Instead, a line he didn't even realize he'd memorized rose up. "It'll save you from the strange woman with her smooth words. Her house sinks down to death." He heard himself answer, "Got an early shift," and watched her walk away angry. He felt like an idiot. Then he felt something quieter, something like relief. Months passed. The twin sons kept trying to cook him alive. Grix kept trying to cheat him. The violet-eyed girl found someone else. Kyle kept reading the slate whenever the old woman let him. One night she read, "He is a shield to those who walk with integrity. He guards the paths of the just and protects the way of his faithful ones." Kale muttered, "I'm not exactly faithful material." "Yet here you are," she said. Still breathing, still choosing. Then came the cave-in. Sector 9 collapsed with 12 men inside, Grix among them. The rescue drones are hours out. Everyone stood around cursing, waiting for orders that weren't coming. Kale heard the words again, unbidden. "Discretion will protect you. Understanding will guard you." He grabbed a breather, a torch, and a coil of cable and walked into the dark before anyone could stop him. 3 hours later, he crawled out dragging the last survivor. Grix, half crushed, missing half an ear now instead of just an eye. The ortolan stared up at him, trunk trembling. "You hate me. Why?" Kale sat in the red dust, lungs on fire, and answered with the only thing that made sense anymore. "Because the Eternal stores up sound wisdom for the upright, and apparently even for idiots who are trying." Grix started crying. Big, wet, undignified sobs. Years later, when the settlement had real streets and a dome with trees that didn't die, people still talked about the night the lamp kid went into the dark and came back with 12 lives. Kale never got rich. Didn't want to anymore. Some nights he'd sit on the porch of the little house he built with his own hands, sharing tea with the old woman who turned out to be his great-aunt after all. She'd tapped the same cracked slate and read the last lines she ever needed to read to him. "The upright will dwell in the land, and people of integrity will remain in it, but the wicked will be cut off, and the treacherous uprooted." Kale would nod, look up at the alien stars, and finish it for her. "So I'm staying put, Auntie. Found the treasure. Turns out it wasn't silver after all. And somewhere out there on the galactic frontier, under skies that had never heard Hebrew or English or Basic, the ancient words kept doing what they'd always done. They found one more wanderer. turned him around, and taught him how to live. One verse at a time, one choice at a time, one heart at a time.